What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by, I was going to say as always it's your birthday, but it's only your birthday today. The birthday boy co-host, John Luke. What's up, JL?
What up?
Any speech for your birthday?
How's it feel
being
you don't give yourself a speech on your
47.
birthday.
That's how old you are, right?
47, yes. I'm 47.
47 years old. Everyone make sure you wish JL a happy 47th birthday. And for his birthday, we brought one of his favorite guests on. He's here to mock draft with us. We've got Eric Romoff with us. For those of you that do not know him, he's a contributor over at Dr. Roto Fantasy Sports and at Going for Two, as well as a co-founder and contributor with Green Screens Media and the co-founder of Pros with Joe's. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today for Mock Draft Monday.
Thanks for having me on. I'm happy to celebrate JL's daily 47th birthday.
My daily 47th, yep. So we call it.
JL's daily 47th birthday. It's on the calendar every single day. Honestly, it's annoying that I get an alarm at midnight every day going off reminding me it's your 47th birthday.
You created this holiday. You have to live with it.
You're right. That's what I did with my authority.
Yep.
Is what I did. We got Craig in here ready to go saying apparently I need to navigate the FYF schedule better.
Oh,
good one. Go home, Dad, says Alex. What's up, Dad? Dame? Welcome in. Howdy to you. George said, happy freaking birthday, JL.
Thank you.
And Sully said, mock all day long. Yeah, absolutely.
So we do here.
And we mock draft as well. Happy birthday, Dame. It's not your birthday. Dame's happy birthday from Dame as well. And George said, damn, Josh didn't show up for your birthday.
He never does. Year after year, I wait. He never does.
And Alex said he looks really old for 47. Hashtag get mocked. Sully with the happy birthday for JL. And Mr. Scamper says happy birthday, JL and JL's mom. She was there as well. She was there.
She was there.
You guys finally fired Josh into the sun or just from the company?
He's getting close. He's getting very close to the sun. I'm not going to lie.
That's what I was going to say.
We've lost track.
He's been out there for a while.
He has. He's really drifted.
And I'm pretty sure in outer space, it's like one of those things where you don't slow down, right? Like you just keep going in that same direction.
Yep. Nothing is slowing you down. Yeah.
Yep. Jay said, we sang a beautiful rendition of Happy Birthday this morning. I think you need to do it again. No, I think we did that on the call this morning to spare all of you guys from feeling bad about your voices.
So if anybody wants it, just let me know.
I fully believe you on that one. Guys, today we brought Eric here on JL's birthday to do a Superflex Startup Dynasty mock draft. This is going to be with the rookies in their new landing spots as well. Last week we did a non-Superflex, I believe. So this week we'll see how it falls with the new quarterbacks in question and maybe where some of these skill position players fall now that we've got quarterbacks rising up the draft board in a Superflex league. Before we do that, though, a couple reminders, though. Number one, if you're not already following our guest, Eric, make sure you go and do that right now. Craig alluded to it earlier by saying you need to navigate the FYF schedule better. Well, you can navigate over to his Twitter at FantasyNav. It is right there below his handsome face on the screen. So make sure you guys are following him. After you do that, if you're watching this, you're most likely already on our YouTube channel. If you are, go ahead and like this video and make sure you're subscribed to our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. It is the easiest way to show your support for what we are doing. And enough likes, we'll send JL the day after his birthday to go get Josh back from the sun. JL.
I see it.
We've got double JL.
Birthday split.
Craig in here saying, I'm at home already. Thanks, son, to Alex. Oh, now it just got weird, but in the best way. JL said it's about to go down. And Alex, man, this is a beautiful reunion we're seeing here. I've been waiting for years. Did you get your cigarettes? Craig, let him know if you found those cigarettes, but we'll go from there. Eric, you and I are going to be drafting today. JL's kind of going to be commenting on it, and since it's just the two of us,
Kind of going to be.
Well, I was getting there, Jay. I was going to say probably going to be asking us a lot of questions about our picks, about what we're doing, and maybe about some of the other teams in here. But you are drafting from the 3 spot today. I will be drafting from the 12. And if you guys are ready, I think I'm going to go ahead and get this started. You
Yeah,
good to go, Eric?
Let's go. I like JL's faceless voice just kind of hanging over the stream. It's perfect.
It's kind of funny that he's like commenting on it. He's just like this omnipresent voice.
Hello, my children.
I feel like there might be a product here, like within draft software. Just
like
JL roasting people as they draft.
You can set it to like self-deprecating or like insulting your teammates. Like, how do you want it? Like, do you want after every one of your picks, JL going like, really? Justin Herbert at this spot? The value is at the running back position. Or
that
like
early?
Oh, that's perfect, JL. Just make it super vague, like that early. Like
I mean, okay.
You took Terrell Pryor here?
You could have gotten him 3 rounds later. Just screams in your ear after you make your pick.
Dumbass!
Bust. That would be really, really funny. Also, Brady said JL accidentally used this hidden reality stone there for a second. Didn't know Thanos celebrated birthdays.
Oh, of course he does. Of course he does. He's still human, I think. Titan? No, I don't know.
Is he human? I
Does
was
he
going through
believe
my
still
time
sentient.
being linear.
I was going through my comic books today, my old comic books, and I pulled out like I've got a couple like crossover Infinity Gauntlet, Silver Surfer like crossover series. And Thanos on those, JL. If it had been that Thanos, the Thanos from those comics, I think he might have beaten Venom in the Who Would You Rather Sleep With poll.
That's what
Because
I'm saying.
the Thanos in these old school comics like was less alien looking and more just like sexy purple buff guy. Like is how he looked in these old comics.
That's all he is in the movies too.
I feel like they take it a step further in the movies.
It's the chin, isn't it? It's always the chin.
It's always the chin. It's like Crimson Chin style. Yet somehow Crimson Chin looks more human than Thanos.
I don't
Craig
get that.
said Jail loves himself some Thanos. I'm sure they are celebrating his birthday together in special ways.
Always, every year. Papa comes home.
I am not coming here now that I'm spoiling Doctor Strange. I've never seen Doctor Strange, so I could not be
Stop spoiling it.
I haven't even seen Eternals or Shang-Chi, so no spoilers for those movies either, please.
All right, we got this draft starting off. Dynasty Superflex Startup. Mr. Scampers took Josh Allen, followed by Justin Herbert, followed by Mahomes, followed by Kyler Murray. Almost forgot his name there for a second. Then Jonathan Taylor, then Deshaun Watson, then Lamar Jackson. So Eric, you took Mahomes at 3. Are you happy with that pick?
You gotta be.
Yeah, I'm plenty happy with that pick. I chose the 3 spot in hopes of either getting Mahomes or Allen, and if they both went, I would be perfectly content with JT there. But was happy to see him slide down, and being that there's a premium on the position in Superflex, definitely want to lock up that elite option early on.
Simon, you love Justin Herbert. He went at 1 or 2 here.
I'm taking Mahomes and Allen ahead of him.
Okay.
That is, and I'm exactly like Eric. It's Mahomes, Allen, and then it is Jonathan Taylor for me before Herbert. I love Herbert, but I love him very much so as the top of that next tier of quarterback after those 2 guys.
Right. Simon, coming up here soon. You're going to be on the clock.
Shh, don't say anything.
I will not say a single word.
Don't say a
single
word.
My mouth is shut.
Yep. No one say no. Dang it! I knew there was no chance, but I was just praying. Like I was shocked he was still there at 10, and that's about right. I can't expect to get Jamar Chase at the 12th pick, but I was hoping. We'll
Scott in here saying happy birthday, JL. Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much. Brady said, I can't take Mahomes over Herbert right now. I think a lot of people feel that way. I would take Mahomes over Herbert, personally.
I would as well. But again, I don't fault anyone for taking Herbert over Mahomes. I think they're comparable enough. I'm not going to say it's ludicrous to go that direction. And now I'm on the clock. And
now you're on the clock for 2 picks. Where are you going to go here, Simon?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. This is one of my first mock drafts of the season, drafting from the back end in a super flex, and I'm realizing I don't like this very much.
I think that's fair. think that's fair.
I bounced around as I was picking my draft spot. I was thinking about the later turn, but ultimately chickened out and wanted one of the top 3 guys.
One of the top 3. If you had to pick, if this was a for real draft, are you picking right where you picked? 130 there?
Yeah, I like it. I feel like with the way the tiers are falling, I'm still into kind of the range of players that I want to be on the way back around in the second. And also it's a decent spot to respond to any runs, right? It's just close enough to the turn to where, if one starts, I shouldn't be completely out in the cold, but not so far that I have to, pay a huge premium to ride that wave.
Right.
So yeah, I mean the bookends are always fun in general, but I like to kind of cheat in a little bit just so I can try to hedge those runs a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Simon, you were on the edge here, and you got CeeDee Lamb and Kyle Pitts, your first 2 picks. You want to talk through those picks?
Yeah, I started thinking about getting cute, and I started thinking about, okay, maybe I build a win now team and go with like 2 of these stud running backs that are sitting right there. But that's not how I like to build dynasty teams. And maybe I'm going to give something away now. But you know what? This is a mock on stream. That's part of the game. I'm just going to say it. I've really been loving the value of these like 3rd, 4th, and 5th round veteran running backs in dynasty startup drafts. So I felt comfortable grabbing my number 3 dynasty wide receiver and my number 1 dynasty tight end here at the turn. Still in a very much so like win now kind of build with these 2 players, I feel like, while building for the future. It doesn't lock me into one strategy or the other. Whereas I feel like had I gone maybe like a Najee and a Swift, I would have been very much locked into like, you got to win in the next 2 to 3 years. So that's why I went this route. Kept it flexible while still getting top tier talent at 2 positions.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like the CeeDee Lamb pick. So you have, was it Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb are your top 3?
Yep. There's a tier break after Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but then CeeDee Lamb is that 3rd one for me.
What about for you, Eric? Who are your top 3 dynasty wide receivers?
That is the exact same order that I have them in as well. I mean, I feel like it's pretty clearly those 2, Jefferson and Chase up top. And then Lamb is the first player in the next tier for me, which is interesting. I feel like over the last maybe 10 days or so, I've seen CD's ADP really start to creep up. There was a good window of time where, Kupp was the 3rd guy off the board. Ty Hill was still going, Devontae Adams, but Lamb seems to be at least nearing consensus third wide receiver in Dynasty over these last weeks or 2.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting names. I feel like I was like, this is where I feel like it gets interesting with Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill both switching teams. Now we've got to take that into consideration. They're older and switching teams, but we've got guys like Diggs who are tied to these superstar quarterbacks like Josh Allen while being a superstar in his own right. Like maybe Diggs should be the next guy. Maybe he should be number 4 on that list. He's not currently for me, but like why in my rankings did I have DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin ahead of Stephon Diggs? Like those are the questions I'm asking myself right now whenever I'm going through my dynasty rankings. Like maybe I liked the talent better, but now we've seen it multiple years from Diggs and Allen. And it seems like that's going to be the combo for the future. Like Diggs very well could be that next guy that you should be drafting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
It's close though. It's exciting. And then I'm super excited to see where all these after year 1, like right now we'll see where the rookies fall, but I feel like there's some interesting landing spots for these rookie wide receivers. We'll see if a couple of them sneak into these like top 12 dynasty rankings by this time next year.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. And there he goes, Stephon. He's probably sweating while you're talking Stephon Diggs.
As I got super quiet and tried to act natural, which is not natural for me.
Stop talking about Stephon Diggs, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to go as you were talking about him. But
my bad. That's like
no, it's all good. But yeah, I'm super bullish on Diggs for all of the reasons that you just laid out, specifically that pairing, that role in that offense for the foreseeable future. If and when I'm going to go wide receiver over running back early, I want someone that's going to be a known quantity for years to come.
Davis coming in with the $1.99 saying, I hear this is where I can meet singles in my area.
Sure.
It's going to cost more than $1.99 to meet some sexy singles, though. It depends what kind of single
some
you want.
Sexy singles. Hit some sexy singles. I don't know about all that.
Or for it's singles not in your area is actually what we're promising. You have to,
yeah, singles, but you have
travel.
to find them. Good luck locating them.
Also,
it's like a game of GeoGuessr.
Oh man, have you seen the guy on TikTok, the GeoGuessr guy on TikTok who does it competitively?
Oh, no. Simon, you sent me that. I think somebody sent me that.
It is unbelievable. It's like he does like speed versions where like he'll give himself 2 seconds just looking at it. He'll be like, okay, well, those lines are dotted, the grass is a little bit yellow, and there's caps on the street signs. This has got to be Western Australia, and like gets it right every time. It's insane.
So what you're telling me is this man is a wizard.
He has the world memorized, like just as a whole. He has the entire world memorized. Also, welcome in Damien. And Damien said, are any of you guys going to any international games this year? I'm a Giants fan, so buzzing they are here this year. Well, I know Jay's happy that we have another Giants fan in the chat. You got G-Men Jay down there, Damien. JL or Eric, are either of you guys planning on going to any of the international games?
No, not currently, but I would love to.
There are I might try to make it down to the one in Mexico City. I love that city, and it's not far from me here in San Antonio. It's like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour plane ride. You can usually get relatively affordable tickets, but that could be really cool. I don't have plans now, but I'll look into it.
Man, I hadn't even considered my geographic vicinity to Mexico City. Just immediately I thought London when you said international games. But either way, I am a house cat. I lap my milk from the saucer, so it's hard for me to break off on weekends.
Yeah, I get that. I'm a bit of a homebody a lot of the time as well. Also, come here now saying the Front Yard Fantasy E-dates.
E-dates.
Yeah, that's what we are now. E-dates.
That's what we are. That's what we do.
Also, Mr. Scamper said you sniped him with digs, and he wanted Simon to shut up too. I don't think you two are alone. I think you could start a club.
So Eric, then you got CMC in the 3rd round as well. That's some good value. Breece Hall going right before him. If Breece Hall had made it back to you, are you taking CMC? You're taking Breece Hall?
Yeah, I'm absolutely taking CMC there. In most of the mocks and most of the startups that I've done, he is not available in the 3rd round. So I was happy to see him there. Breece Hall is obviously the 101 of rookie drafts this year. Not in love with the situation that he fell into, so I'll take what could be RB1 upside sitting here in the 3rd round.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think I would take CMC as well. But no, it's getting close. It's getting close. Obviously, his ADP is creeping up there. Simon, would you take CMC or Breece Hall if both were available for you?
This might sound stupid, but it's going to depend on my first 2 picks. Like if I kind of took running backs early or something along those lines and I'm building a win now team, I'm probably more inclined to take Christian McCaffrey. And I feel like your first 2 picks can kind of define that. But if maybe I've gone with 2, like what if I grabbed a Trevor Lawrence and someone else and a young wide receiver, a Jalen Waddle with those first 2 picks, I'll probably go Breece Hall then. Just because whether or not I use him, there's going to be more value in trades with Breece Hall in the coming 12 months, I think, than with Christian McCaffrey. But in a vacuum, I'll go Christian McCaffrey. I think he's more likely to help you win this year and next year than Breece Hall is.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Jay saying he loves your start, Simon.
Yeehaw. Well, let's see if I can ruin it.
And Pang saying I'm on lunch, so I get to enjoy a show. What's for lunch? What's for lunch, Pangs?
No, he's on lunch.
He's on lunch. Same question.
Spaghetti.
Discuss.
Spaghetti. All right.
I'm fairly certain he's eating spaghetti for lunch.
And,
Joe, you get one guess what I ate for lunch. If you had to guess one food,
no.
Oh. You got it. You got it. First try, nailed it. That's what I eat for lunch almost every day.
I was gonna say pot sticker.
Oh, you know what? I do mix in a pot sticker from time to time whenever I run out of gnocchi.
Simon, you are about to be on the clock. Sully said that you sniped him with that CMC pick, Eric.
God,
I was surprised to see him available in the 3rd. So happy to jump all over it. Sorry about you, Sully. You can get me back in the 4th.
Now Simon on the clock. Ooh, I thought he'd have someone all ready to go. I thought you had.
I do, but now I'm wondering. Like, I only get to take 2 people, and there's more than 2 that I want. I want them all.
Multiple made it back to you.
Well, we'll start with that one. I'm taking Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Then now is the tough choice.
Yeah, now is a tough choice.
Taysom Hill still on the board.
I know.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Mason Rudolph.
Taysom Hill and his newly minted tight end status on Sleeper.
Yep. Justin Ross.
Yeah, this is about where you're going to have to take him if you want him.
If you want to in a draft assignment.
Ooh, where do I go here? You know what? Let's do it. I never have 2 stud running backs in the Dynasty Startup. This is how
Derrick Henry,
this is where we're going.
Mr. 25, 26-year-old running backs. Mr. 0 RB. How you feeling?
A little gross. This is not generally how I build dynasty teams, but I feel like you can't be mad at this start, especially if we're just looking at winning next year. CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook as a start to your draft.
Brutal start, yeah.
It's a beautiful first 4 rounds. We just got to see if I can get enough value that's going to age with my team while still keeping it competitive year 1 to make this a team that I like. We'll see. I'm curious to see how the rest of this draft plays out because this is
It's like you anchored your team on these first 2 picks, and then you're just like taking a different build, but that anchor is still young, right? CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts are going to be here for a long time, so.
Yeah, and Alex saying Henry is like 28. Yeah, he's a bit older, but I'm not betting on the wheels falling off until I see them falling off. We'll see though.
Yeah.
And Brady said, Jill, not 25 and 26. Try 26 and 28.
I got one of the numbers right.
Yeah. Who cares if it was for the right person? I loved a lot of the value sitting on the board right there, though, at multiple positions. Quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. They're all players where I was like, oof, I want them all right here. But now I'm going to have to wait 24 picks. CJ, I knew I would ruin it for you. You no longer love Simon's start.
I no longer love Simon's start. And Scott just said, did you guys know Dalvin Cook is the older brother of James Cook?
Wait, what?
No way.
Are you sure?
Fact check that.
We can just copy and paste his rookie numbers and expect that for the projection, right?
Yeah. That's how brothers work.
Exactly.
Did you know that that Antonio Gates used to play basketball? I'm just trying to think of all the other things they always say on air whenever specific players are talked about. What's another one where like what's the Aaron Jones one? Irish Dance, right?
No. That was Alex Collins.
Alex Collins.
They were insufferable.
Oh,
that's right. Because whenever
stay in Baltimore with Justin Tucker singing opera.
Yep. That is a common one.
I wish we had access. We should try to see if we can get access to like all of the fun fact cards they give to those broadcasts.
We should
weave them in during mock draft Mondays.
Oh, that would be so. Oh my god, that'd be such good fantasy fortune category.
Right. Little known fact: Justin Fields has 2 big toes on the same foot.
My mom in here saying happy birthday, JL.
Thank you, Mama.
And we got
Mama
Swamp.
G.
We got Swamp in here. What's up, Swamp? Welcome in, but he's at work and cries and sweaty. Yeah, I bet it's heating up in New Orleans now. Mom spaghetti. And Scott said, I'm so glad Stephon Diggs texted me to remind me to say happy birthday to JL today.
Your friend. He's a
best friend's got your back.
Yeah, good friend of mine.
Scott got one. Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard, so I'm told.
That one. Yeah.
Stafford grew up with Kershaw. Did you know Ike Ekwonkwu was a wrestler? We got a whole. This could definitely be a category on Fantasy Fortune, just like announcer fun facts.
Yeah, for sure.
In quotes, fun facts. Not so fun.
Wow, so we got a couple wide receivers, couple quarterbacks, Travis Kelce off the board. Simon, is this too late or too early for Travis Kelce?
I think it's about right. This is a little bit earlier than I've seen him go, and I feel like we've seen a couple other tight ends in our other mocks go ahead of him. We've seen Kittle go ahead of him. We've even seen Hawkinson go ahead of him in some of our mocks so far. But after Pitts and Andrews, honestly, after Pitts, I'm fine with Kelce being the next tight end taken.
What about you? Oh, sorry, you are on the clock. I'm not going to ask you a question.
I am on the clock, and right on cue. I got sniped by Sully. He
as I was saying Kittle,
yeah,
and I was saying it out loud.
Yep, Alex had another one. Connor had cancer.
Yeah, they say that one all the time too. And come here now saying happy birthday, JL.
Thank you.
And coming here now did say they were going to shock us with their 5th pick. Says I'm going to shock the world with my 5th.
Where's
pick.
that pick? That's the next pick.
It hasn't happened yet. I'm just making sure everybody's ready.
Which spot are they? Oh yeah, they're 10th spot.
Yeah,
Scott said spaghetti.
Is that what's for lunch?
Oh, must have been. Jay also has 2 big toes. We found out.
It's incredible.
Has that in common with Justin Fields? That's so weird.
There it is.
I had a friend growing up who had web toes. Did you guys have any web toed friends?
No.
I feel like everyone knew the one kid with web toes, but maybe that was just because I knew the one kid with web toes.
Yeah, I think that was just
I thought you were just like hanging out with frogs or something.
No, but his dad was. And that's why his son has web toes. But that's what that story made me think of. The Justin Fields has 2 big toes. I feel like in some regards, web toes might be an advantage, but in others, like very much so not.
Any sort of swimming environment for sure.
Right? Like that's
Yeah.
got to help with your aerodynamics or like your propulsion
Probably.
whenever you're a swimmer.
I'm not a doctor.
You would just rule in like water world.
Yeah, you would. And Jay said, "Did you guys know that Aaron Rodgers hosted Jeopardy?"
Never heard of it.
So, nope. And then Z2 said Z2 needs to draft more. He is struggling right now with making picks. You got this, Z2. You got this.
Z2, I'm with you though. It happens every year. Like this time of year, as we're doing mocks, like every pick feels like I'm like ripping my hair out. And then once we get to the time the season starts, it's like clockwork. It's like, oh, at this spot, I'm either going to be taking like DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin. If I need to go this route, these are the guys I'm targeting. Like this is the time where we're kind of figuring it out and figuring out how the draft falls and what our preferences are.
I've gotten so much better just from doing these every week on the stream.
Yeah. Which is like, Jail, that's also to your point why I kind of went a very different route here is because I'm still trying to figure out what draft boards look like this year. Like what strategy feels the best whenever I'm done? Am I the happiest with? Because like as much as I like the 0 RB strategy, I'm not someone who's like locked into one strategy. And
you don't want to get that belief lock in, where you're not able to see other strategies that work well just because you're so focused on this one strategy that you like.
Exactly. And it's not just draft to draft. Like it's truly year to year when different strategies are going to work better than others too. Like the meta of a draft changes every year and which kind of players are falling also affects which
position. Are they top heavy? Are they, mid heavy? You never know.
Oh, I got to find this article. I read it a couple years back, but it was kind of tracking the swings in wide receiver and running back value in fantasy over the last 10 years and how like you can see tailing effects from like an above average wide receiver season will create tailing effects for like 2 to 3 seasons afterwards. Then usually you'll see a large overcorrection to running back value where they're going super early. And like interesting because we kind of think in this like just the past couple of years, like, oh, well, running backs are king. They go early, but you go back even a little bit further. Wide receivers were king at the top of drafts and then running backs. I'm going to have to see if I can find that because it's really interesting how kind of like as a whole group, we tend to have these swings.
Yeah, well, it tails the how the NFL actually works, right? Because the NFL has these trends as well, right? When they use running backs, for receiving, that's like a newer trend. Teams didn't used to do that, very heavily back in the day. So,
and now wide receivers in the rushing game. I don't think we're going to see as big of a push with that. As
I don't think so either.
With running backs, though, even though everyone wants it, and by everyone I mean me.
Mr. Scammer says, my sister has 2 toes connected on each foot. #Waterworld. Jay asks, is your sister also a cat? Mr. Scammer said, what else?
Well, at worst, half cat.
What the hell kind of question is that?
You idiot.
What the hell else would she be?
Oh, man. So many good players here. What do I want to do?
You're back on for a double here.
Yeah. Well, there's one player I know I'm taking, so I'm going to go ahead and take him.
Mike Evans. Eric, you took Matthew Stafford and Keenan Allen were your last 2 picks. I like those. Picks. Talk through those. What were you thinking while you were on the clock?
I like those picks too. I'm all of a sudden like super old on this startup, which isn't really a lane that I've been in before. So kind of cool to play around with things. I was hoping for Kittle. Sully returned the favor on that snipe. So if I wasn't able to be in that kind of top tier at the tight end position, I really just wanted to stack up consistent, reliable kind of secondary points contributions. So feel pretty good about my pairing of quarterbacks. Certainly like the stability that Keenan Allen brings with the volume. Funny enough, I mean, Simon just took him a handful of picks later, but I was actually between Evans and Keenan Allen here at the turn on 4.
Yeah. Oh man, so Simon, would you have considered Keenan Allen over Mike Evans there? Or do you have
if they were both there, I would have taken both of them. I have Mike Evans ahead of Keenan Allen, but they are both very close. I think Mike Evans, man, with Tom Brady coming back, like you can hardly even overrank the guy for next season. Like if you told me Mike Evans was a top 5 redraft wide receiver for you next year, I wouldn't say that's ridiculous. Like it almost seems like a guarantee for 10 touchdowns if he plays the whole season with like 15 touchdown upside in that offense. And the way I'm building this team is very much a win now team. So Mike Evans with Tom Brady's perfect, but Keenan Allen is in that same tier range. Maybe gets the bump with a younger quarterback, but they're similarly ranked players. Yeah, I'm excited for Mike Evans next year. I'm just excited that I get to be excited for Mike Evans with Tom Brady one more year.
One last run.
Are we going to bury the lead of Zach Wilson QB1?
Simon?
I can bury the lead if you want to. You just want to not talk about it? I'm just kidding. No.
So, how about that weather?
No, Zach Wilson QB1 definitely a little bit concerning, but here's the thing. Just because I drafted him first doesn't mean he's my QB1 in Dynasty startup drafts. You can get some pretty high valued older quarterbacks a little bit later. But I also love what the Jets did this offseason. This is going to look like an entirely new offense. We saw sparks from Zach Wilson this past year that he could be the guy. Obviously has the draft capital, and this is me kind of just buying into the moves that the Jets are making around him. If they're investing this much around him, then I'm going to invest a little bit because we haven't seen much. This could be the cheapest we're getting Zach Wilson if it pans out. So I'm a fan. Yeah. And I don't think the 6th round for a super young, high draft capital quarterback like that is bad value. But QB1 is definitely concerning, Eric. You're not wrong there. Whenever he's the guy leading the charge,
I'm waiting for the mad science that you're cooking up for these later rounds.
Oh yeah, it's coming, or it's just not going to work.
Or it's just not going to work.
I'll be rebuilding this time next year.
Oh, that's the worst feeling when you leave a startup draft.
That's how I felt on our main Dynasty Leagues drafts, Simon.
And you feel like you're immediately in rebuild mode. Like,
damn, I hate this team. Damn, I did not do well here. NBA said, do you guys think I nailed this dynasty? Knocked it out of the park with my first 5 picks. Their pick is
6. So they went Deshaun Watson, Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Mac Jones, Devonta Smith, TJ Hawkinson.
I don't hate it.
It's a little less than knocked it out of the park, JL.
I think it's an average start for me.
Yeah. I don't love the Mac Jones pick.
I think Mac Jones, Devonta Smith's where I feel a little more iffy.
But I love Tyreek Hill in the 3rd. I think that's incredible value on Tyreek Hill. And I actually don't mind Devonta Smith in the 5th. I don't think that's a bad pick either. Eric, what do you think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, I'm also lower, I feel like, on Eckler than most people. I just feel like he's at his ceiling right now, so.
But that ceiling's a pretty nice place to live. And I feel like the floor for him is close to that ceiling as well.
It is, but everybody's discounting all the other running backs that are his age, for their age, and nobody's doing it to Austin Eckler.
That's true. That is true. Not everybody. Some people are. Yeah. Some people don't see.
I'm generalizing.
That's my new favorite joke.
How some people be.
I know. Yep. Uh-oh. Mr. Scampers with the 3rd quarterback. I might be in trouble, Eric. If his quarterbacks keep flying.
Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins.
Ooh, Mr. Scampers is building a very 0 RB team over there.
Yeah.
The most 0 RB team.
Yeah, absolute 0.
Is there anyone else without an RB? No, Gary went a while without one. Drafted Cam Akers as their first. Okay, hypothetical. Eric, everything else in a vacuum. Dynasty League. Would you rather have Cam Akers as your RB1, or would you rather have Zach Wilson as your QB1?
I would probably say Cam Akers is my RB1. Just generally, it's easier to find running back productivity. But it's super close. I also like what the Jets have done. I mean, they've really invested in this kid. It seems like the solid coaching staff and that LaFleur offense has traveled over to New Jersey technically. So I definitely think his arrow is pointing up.
I'm with you. And I like, those are the kinds of questions whenever I'm like evaluating how is this draft strategy panning out that I try to ask, because I probably would have been happier maybe if I would have grabbed like a Justin Fields or even a Matthew Stafford there in the middle rounds and had Cam Akers as my running back instead of grabbing Dalvin Cook and having Zach Wilson as my running back or as my quarterback. But Jill, what about you?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Cam Akers is your RB1 or Zach Wilson is your QB1?
I'd rather have Cam Akers as my RB1.
And I know that's in a vacuum, but yeah, I think I'm in agreement there. Scamper says, "Will I draft an RB? We'll see." Pregnant pause. What is a pregnant pause?
I have no idea. I was going to ask the same thing.
Is that a phrase? Something, Mr. Is that a phrase that we just don't know?
Are you expecting?
Yeah. Where is Mrs. Scampers?
Oh, shoot! Missed the joke. All right, you went double running back here, Eric. Alvin Kamara, AJ Dillon. It's kind of crazy that Alvin Kamara's ADP is so close to AJ Dillon.
I almost went Kamara with my pick instead of Zach Wilson. Like I almost went and grabbed a third running back because the value already seemed
Josh Jacobs went ahead of Alvin Kamara. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, the Kamara pick, I mean, he was just he just kept falling, right? I mean, I think we are categorically overreacting to any pending suspension or punishment that might be coming. But yeah, I was floored that he was there at the end of the fifth. And then AJ Dillon's probably a bit of a reach. I really like his outlook in the future. I mean, as soon as this year, if not certainly next year, is probably going to be close to kind of like a second or third round pick. So I'll grab him now to add some future prospectus to my old ass team.
That's what I was going to say is with your build, AJ Dillon as your third running back behind McCaffrey and Kamara is why I love this. Like you've got these two older studs and then the younger guy waiting in the wings behind them who's still going to provide you value. Like you can flex AJ Dillon this year, no problem, any given week.
Sure.
I love that pick.
Yeah, I think CMC and Alvin Kamara could both be the RB1. That's both of that. That is in both of their realms of outcomes here.
For sure. Yeah. If they both hit, this is my year. If they're suspended and hurt, then I'm shipping off all of these pieces very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, and I'm on the clock.
Simon, you are on the clock. Damien asking how long do you think Sean Watson's ban could be, if any, from the league? I have no idea. I have no idea how the league will look at this. I would always, whenever people ask about this, I direct them to Drew Davenport. He's puts out really good threads on like the legal aspect of Sean Watson's case. But yeah, I have no idea how long the league would impose a ban.
Yeah, I will absolutely second that. Drew does awesome work. He is senior junior counsel for all of fantasy football land. If I were to speculate, I think he's at least facing a pretty substantial suspension, just given how he reacted to Cleveland getting back into the race at the end, and specifically with all of their maneuvering around the contracts, right? His compensation is structured to where if he is suspended this year, essentially he still gets all of his money. And so if that was important to him, I have to at least assume that he thinks some sort of suspension is coming. But again, I'm not a lawyer or a doctor. Or do I play one on TV?
Sully saying CMC in the third and Kamara in the sixth is crazy. It is. I really like those picks, Eric. And Simon capping off his 6th round pick here with Tom Brady and Darnell Mooney.
Seventh round for Tom Brady.
Seventh round.
And honestly, a little bit of a reach for Tom Brady, and I'm willing to admit that. But sitting on the turns, like that was a quarterback that I wanted for this coming season, especially if I want to win this year. Like he was one of the only quarterbacks left sitting there that realistically could finish top 5 at the position, like without being ridiculous in your projections. Like Tom Brady's got a real path to there. So I'm going to grab him. I'm going to reach a little bit. And then Darnell Mooney, if we're being honest, I was between him and DeAndre Hopkins with this pick. And I know DeAndre Hopkins has the suspension, but this is Dynasty. But what it came down to is I've got the way I'm building this team. You talked about at the beginning. I want to win now, but also have some pieces that can translate to the future. And Darnell Mooney is that young piece, but he's going to be he seems like the focal piece of that Bears offense. I loved what I saw last year. And so I think I can get similar production levels from him for a whole season that I would get from DeAndre Hopkins as well this year.
Right. No, I'm with you. I think I would take DeAndre Hopkins in that situation. That's tough. I don't know how to say it.
With the way my team is being constructed, Darnell Mooney made a little bit more sense. But
yeah, I get
outside of that, it's tough. I mean, so many other players I wanted, though. I hated that I felt like I needed to take a quarterback there because there was value sitting there at some of the other positions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sully's saying nearly took Kamara where I took Williams. Jameson Williams foolishly hoped Kamara would make it back to me. Yeah, sorry about that, Sully. He did not. A lot of rookie wide receivers starting to go off the board here. We got Jameson Williams at 6'9". From Sully, and then Chris Olave 7'4", and then kind of like a little run here, mini run with Sky Moore and Christian Watson. Is this right where you would put them, Simon? Where you're going to start drafting these rookie wide receivers?
Yeah, this is around where I start considering it. I think these are the players with the questions that they have or the level of production that they're going to reach. Like their ceiling starts making the inherent risk with the rookies reasonable to take these guys, but I couldn't bring myself to draft Sky Moore over Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, any of those guys, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you.
I understand the hype, but I can't do it.
It's just a little early on Sky Moore.
Oh, even like Mike Williams. Like I think I would take Mike Williams over those guys. Like I'm looking at the names that are still sitting there. There's quite a few names left where I'm not taking that jump yet on these guys. Same with Christian Watson. I think Christian Watson's a great player, but I think we're all looking at the most exciting outcome whenever in reality, he comps well to like an MVS, like this just tall, fast, freakishly athletic player. And we've seen a player just like that, MVS, in this exact offense. Like there's no guarantee Watson's just the one on this offense because we want him to be.
We hope. Yeah, that's what we hope and dream.
He's got the tools, but that doesn't always just completely translate. There's a broad range of outcomes for him.
Right. Mr. Scamper saying that was a double snipe by Swamp and Sully. Ouch. The James Conner and Leonard Fournette. Must have been. And then Albert asking, do y'all think Zach Wilson will take a step forward? Simon, you drafted Zach Wilson. You think he's going to take a step forward?
Yeah. I saw enough from him last year to think that he has the talent to do so. And then you have to trust the draft capital a lot of times in these scenarios. He was drafted obviously very early in the NFL draft. And then what the Jets are doing, they're building around him. They're giving him additional weapons. They're giving him a back that's known for his receiving skill set. Another top tier prospect coming in as a rookie wide receiver. They're beefing up that offensive line for him. The way the team is building around him, I think you have to think that he's going to take a step forward this year, or that the team thinks he's going to at least.
What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I tend to agree. Not quite so much to where I want him to be my QB1 in Superflex. But I mean, kind of like I was saying with the Watson stuff on a different note, right? Like you watch what these organizations do. It really telegraphs what their intention are. And I think that, they're making it pretty clear. They think they've got a long-term asset in Wilson, and they're going to load him up with weapons. So I want to be on that train as it is starting to leave the station.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been really impressed by the offseason moves made by the Jets. And so I absolutely do expect Zach to take a step forward this year.
Yeah, and I think you don't even have to be the biggest believer in him to believe that. Follow the money and follow the moves whenever you're looking at a lot of this stuff, and that'll show you what a team thinks about a player.
Right. Then we got NBA in here asking, will KC change their offensive game plan a bit? now that they are without their number one wide receiver, Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, who can outrun everybody in the NFL. I think, yes, of course. Yeah, they're going to change their game plan a little bit. I don't think it's going to be massive, but I think that, of course, they're not going to scheme around not having Tyreek Hill. What do you think, Simon?
I mean, yeah, you have to change your game plan when you take Tyreek Hill out of your offense. That doesn't mean they're going to abandon the field stretcher role in that offense. They've got some other speedsters, but it's not going to be to the elite level that Tyreek Hill was. And then also last year, we saw a shift in how defense was played in the NFL. They're dropping back a lot of 2 safety sets. And maybe that was part of the reason that they were comfortable moving on from Tyreek Hill. Know what I mean? Like this shift in how defenses are playing could have given them a little bit more reason to believe we don't need a constant kind of a deep threat, blow the top off type of player to run a successful offense. Now, obviously, you want a Tyreek Hill if you can have a Tyreek Hill, but I'm trying to think like that was a move that shocked me. And whenever I'm trying to rationalize why did they move on from him besides just the money, something like that seems to make sense.
Yeah. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I guess I would probably try to qualify that statement a little bit. I think the offense we see Kansas City run is going to be very similar to that offense they ran on like the back third of last year, right?
Yeah.
With the adjustment to that 2 high shell, they really moved to much more of kind of a move and underneath game. And I think that becomes the primary focus of their offense. And they'll still go downfield. It'll just be kind of a tertiary piece as opposed to just letting Cheetah run past everyone.
Yeah, I'm with you. Do you guys have any hope for Justin Ross in that offense? Sign there?
Hope. Yeah, but that's about where it ends.
Yeah.
I'm just hopeful. We've seen him. He's talented, but it's a scary injury that he's coming back from. There's a reason he wasn't drafted by any of the 32 NFL teams through 7 rounds. And I'm just going to need to see it on the field, or at least like reports out of training camp, like Justin Ross wowing coaches. Like I need like a clickbaity headline at the very least before I start getting my hopes up too high.
Yeah.
I need like one coach quote. Know what I mean? Like just give me that one little bit of that about him. Yeah. And then I'm there.
Will you instead settle for a fingertip catch on in practice as Kansas goes out?
Perfect.
That's all you need.
Right.
All right. Brady said I was torn between Mike Williams and Allen Robinson. Brady drafting from which spot here? Second spot. So between Mike Williams and Allen Robinson, which one of those guys are you taking first? Simon, we'll start with you.
Robinson, probably.
Robinson.
Yeah, it's close though. That's an interesting one, especially with Robinson on a new team. But I think I'll go Robinson.
What about you, Eric?
I'll probably lean on the side of Williams. If for no small part, I got burned so bad by Robinson last year. And obviously, he's in an entirely different set of circumstances. But my own mental biases make it really hard for me to click that button. The larger point that I think persists is this is the right price tag for both of them. I think right around here, a few picks later,
Do you mean to pause it?
I would be.
No, I panic picked. It's okay.
Thrilled with getting either of those dudes.
No, I panic picked. I already did it. It's too late.
I can undo it if you need me to.
I'm living with the consequences of my actions.
Okay. Just speak up next time.
Well, I didn't notice till 7 seconds left.
Yeah.
Speak up. All right. Oh, and so, Eric, you took a Jahan Johnson here. Jahan Dotson is what I meant to say here in the 9th round. How are you feeling about that? Because I got him in a rookie draft recently, and so I've been doing a lot of research on him. How are you feeling about him in year 1, this Washington offense?
Yeah, I like him. I like him enough to draft him. I think that specifically in the context of this team, this is the part of the draft where I'm going to want to get as young as possible. For Dotson specifically, he did a really good job taking advantage of zone coverage in the college ranks, and I think that is something that translates fairly well to the NFL level. I also tend to think that the Commanders are probably going to be on the don't want to pay the wide receiver side of the argument here in the not too distant future. So it opens up a pretty considerable upside for him to be the leading pass catcher in Washington before long.
Right. Simon, how you feel about Jahan Dotson?
Similarly to Eric there. I'm worried about the immediate position in that offense, but outside of that, you got to love the talent. I think he's probably one of the rookies, him and David Bell, that are getting overlooked the most with some of these other maybe flashier landing spots. But getting overlooked.
The other guy I got. Those two guys. Simon, you picked Ryan Tannehill here, and then Gabriel Davis was your second pick. Talk us through your mental state.
Down here at the bottom of this draft, like 10th round on, I'm looking for guys with upside, guys that have a real chance to maybe increase their value. We saw Gabriel Davis jump up at the end of last season. I'm not calling for him to be the player we saw, like the 5 touchdown player in the playoffs, but we've seen it from him. And so I'm going to take that shot in the 10th round on a young wide receiver that could increase in value. The Ryan Tannehill pick was a panic pick because I felt like I needed a third quarterback. And it was getting slim pickings. I didn't want to grab Desmond Ridder or something as my third guy.
Are you happy with the Tannehill pick?
I'm fine with it, which I think is how you feel about a Tannehill draft pick, right? You're just cool with it.
It's always just fine.
So I was just like, cool, he's there. We got it. If I need it.
Kind of screwed me in Scotfish Bowl, so.
Did he?
Yeah. And there goes Desmond Ridder off the board. NBA asking, can each of us share one running back and one wide receiver that we just love and would spend up to draft in any type of league this season? Anybody come to mind for you guys?
I think Joe Mixon's a great value at running back in most of these leagues. I'm curious to see where he's going to end up in redraft, but that offense should still be fantastic. And doesn't seem to be slowing down, and he's not as popular as the names like the Jonathan Taylors that are ahead of him are. So I'm curious to see where Mixon ends up being drafted, but he's going to be one of my favorite guys this year.
Yeah. I think CMC. And also I think T. Higgins is another one who I would pick.
That's a great one. Maybe behind the Jamar Chase hype, you can get a value on T. Higgins.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's much room for value anymore, though.
No. NBA said, Simon, you're supposed to say People Jones. I can't in good conscience. As much as I want Donovan Peoples-Jones to just blow up, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen.
Peoples-Jones. Brady saying, I think we need a YouTube short of JL saying Jahan Dotson 10 times fast.
Let's start with one.
Jahan Dotson. Gosh, that's tough.
Joey said, Eric, what a joy for FYF today. Indeed it is.
Oh, hi.
Joey.
And Joey saying Mixon is only 25 as well with no one really behind him. That is also very true.
They get old so fast.
Wide receivers that jump out to me as a value this year. That's interesting. I feel like Keenan Allen's always a value every single year, right? You can draft him about 10 spots lower than you probably should be able to.
Yeah.
The name that comes to mind for me, I mean, he went earlier than I've been seeing him go lately, but I mean, DK Metcalf has just been plummeting down draft boards. And I think that his skill set is one that can certainly overcome, mediocre quarterback play or at least some transition in that category.
Yeah.
Or another one. I just remembered this one. I know we're all excited about Jerry Jeudy with the new quarterback there, but we just saw this with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and Matthew Stafford coming there. We don't know for sure who his number one target's going to be whenever there's two guys that are similarly talented. Courtland Sutton is a fantastic wide receiver pick because he could very easily be the one in this offense. Like that's not out of the question that
he's
the one over Jeudy, right?
I really hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be a big whiff for me.
I'm in on Jeudy. Like, I think it is Jeudy, but I'll take Courtland Sutton at value where they're being drafted. Like, I'll just take the guy being drafted later. I'm not confident enough in my analysis of how that's going to break down that I would take the more expensive player.
Right.
But that's more.
Freiermuth going off the board. Now we're getting to the second, or it's not even a second. It's like a giant tier break, I feel like, for tight ends after was it Hawkinson the last one here? Yeah, Hawkinson, and then these three guys.
There's one more guy that I'd probably put in that tier.
I can't see who's available, so
we'll see though. But I've already got my tight end.
Eric and Dalton Schultz. How do you feel with? Are you waiting till generally this period to get tight end, Eric, or would you even punt further in other situations?
Yeah, it really depends. I've been taking advantage of Darren Waller falling down draft boards. I was hoping to get him, kind of in the 5th or 6th round here. Obviously, the Kamara value was too good to pass up, so I was hoping that he would flip back around. But after that, it's basically Schultz and Freiermuth in their own separate tier. And if I don't get either of those guys, I don't really care who I end up with. I'm fine speculating with Brevin Jordan and Alberto, and I'll probably get one more of those guys than I typically would, just hoping that they kind of start to take a step, and I'm in a better spot next year.
Right.
Maybe a Tommy Tremble.
Tommy Tremble.
There's the other guy I was talking about, just got drafted, Dawson Knox. I think he's part of that tier for me.
That makes sense. And Simon, you were back on the clock for your last.
And I realized it this time.
And you realized it. Good job. Take Tannehill.
And we're going to take an old
guy. We
should
have given him 8 seconds this time.
We should have.
We're taking an old value pick first.
Touchdown, Thielen.
Oh, touchdown. Oh. I should probably take another running back, huh? We got 10 more rounds in a real draft. I'll just pretend like we're going to do the rest of it.
No, Scamper says Schultz was my desire. This is such a weird comment. And JR saying, miss you guys. We miss you too. JR, how you doing, my friend? Welcome back. And Mr. Scamper saying, ditto, Eric would have punted tight end off a bridge and started Tremble. Face that abyss with the steals of nerve. Sully saying that is some good value and Lockett at the 11-10. Don't care who his QB is. Simon, how you feeling about Tyler Lockett situation?
Tyler Lockett was gonna be my pick there instead of Adam Thielen, but I'm perfectly fine with either of those guys. Lockett, he's a good wide receiver. Yeah, his value goes down a little bit without Russ there, but he'll still be a fantasy relevant player. I think some of the players getting drafted ahead of him, it's a little bit silly. Like, I'm not sure I would take Tony ahead of Lockett right now. The writing on the wall doesn't seem good for him. I'm not sure I would take Alec Pierce ahead of him either, but I think that's a great pick, getting Lockett there at the end of the 11th round.
Yeah. You took Devin Singletary. You're not worried about James Cook at all?
I am. That's why I took him in the 12th round. Right? Like, of course, there's some worry about James Cook. If I wasn't worried about James Cook, the starting running back for the Bills probably would have gone in like the 6th or 7th round. But I'm worried about James Cook coming in and taking over that workload. But we've also seen Devin Singletary have success in that offense. So maybe it's not.
So James Cook was drafted in the 8-3 here. Whoops. So 4-round difference, 4-round discount.
I feel like we've seen it plenty of times where the rookie doesn't come in and take over, where it's not just like all of a sudden. We're assuming that they're all going to because of the draft capital, but I'll take the risk on the incumbent that has found success this late in the draft.
Right.
Is how I feel.
Yeah, in terms of the discount, I mean, mocks in like kind of January, February timeframe, Singletary was going on the 5-6 turn, right? So
yeah,
you're getting a good 6-round savings on them, and at least having more than half of the work is pretty well represented on his range, right?
Right.
So Swamp said, dang, didn't mean to draft so many Colts. Oops. And then he said, sorry, phone was in my pocket. I like to imagine those two are related. Like, instead of pocket dials, his phone Colt drafts.
His pocket's a Colts fan.
It's in his back pocket too. His butt's a Colts fan specifically. He's like, oh, I see Pierce on the board.
You got an Indianapolis booty, Swamp.
What does that even mean? Also, NBA said it was a blast drafting with you three fantastic people, great FYF family. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you as well, NBA. Thank you for drafting with us today. And I like this comment from Brady. I've never left a draft and didn't love my team. That sounds about right. That's the way it should be. No matter what your team looks at, like afterwards, you're like, yep, this is
unbridled confidence.
This is, you know what? The number after draft season every year, though, I'm like, somehow I leave every draft thing and like, yeah, I'm gonna win that league. When I know for like in like 20 plus leagues, there's no way I win them all. But if you like asked me the day of the draft for each if I was going to win that league or not, the answer would be yes for every single one of them. Also, Z2 said, I have zero trust in my QBs. Isn't that what Superflex is supposed to be? Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. Because you got Tua, Davis Mills, and Jameis Winston. Yeah, you know what? That is a low trust group of QBs you got there, Z2. But definitely some upside with those. Eric, thank you so much for coming on and mock drafting with us today, my man. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me on. It was a fun draft.
You're always welcome on our show, Eric.
100% of the time.
One
And
more
everybody
time, happy
watching,
birthday, JL.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
if you guys are not already following our friend Eric on Twitter, go and fix that right now. He's on Twitter at Fantasy Nav, right there below his handsome face on the screen. And after watching him draft that killer team, how can you not go follow him for fantasy advice?
I almost told you to zoom up on it. I meant me.
I did, Jail. As you said that, I heard the Z and I started zooming on my computer, but it did nothing. So make sure you guys go follow Eric over on Twitter. And if you enjoyed what we did here, make sure you subscribe to our channel on Front Yard Fantasy. We are live every day at 3 p.m. Eastern time playing games, except on Mondays we mock draft, but that's kind of like a game. So tune back in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football themed games. Until then, though, we are out of here, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you again to Eric, and thank you to everyone who drafted with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Trading makes fantasy fun.
Indeed it does.